Happy Saturday, everyone. We got a fun little gasser for you guys that's going to be taking place every 4 minutes. But before we get to that piece, let's talk about our warm-up today. It's a pretty substantial warm-up. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a plank to down dog for 3 to 5 just to open things up after yesterday's push-up adventure. Quad plank for 3 at 10 seconds. Floor pike hold for 10 at 30 seconds. I should say 10 to 30 seconds in terms of holding that isometric hold. Into a quad plank toe touch with 10 alternating reps. That is going to fire up the core, shoulders, and get those quads saying hello as well. We'll talk about that. Ankle pops for 10 seconds, rest 10 for 2 rounds of that, and then a narrow stance squat for 3 to 5 reps at whatever tempo you'd like. I would suggest a little slower on the down just so you can maintain position and work on opening up those legs. We'll hit that for 2 to 3 rounds. Then we'll move into the bottom piece, which is going to get a little bit more dynamic with some lateral ski jumps for 20 seconds. Perhaps with that addition of the RDL jump or that vertical hop at the end of each jump. We'll talk about that option as well. Goblet squat for 3 to 5 at a 303 tempo. Jump squat for 20 seconds. Side lunge for 10 alternating reps. And then a plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 for 3 to 5 rounds. So you can take that down to get your body ready, everything fired up, heart rate fired up, and then moving into our work set. So our work set is going to consist of every 4 minutes for 5 rounds. So in an optimal situation, we have a few minutes or even a minute, 30 seconds of rest before we have to start the next round. So take it down, have some fun. The numbers aren't super big with this one, but they can pack a punch. So we want to make sure that we're having some fun with these and choosing options that are going to challenge us, but also allow us to have some rest time in these work sets. So the workout today, 10 box jumps or box jump equivalent that I show you today in terms of a bunch of different options for you guys. 10 to 15 burpees. If you're feeling a little tight in the pecs and the triceps today because of the push-ups from yesterday, or if you did 5 rounds of the 15 and your arms are shredded and you're like, oh my, all right, rock the squat thrust today. Take it faster. Maybe do 15 squat thrusts instead of 10 burpees and take it a little bit faster, get the heart rate up there, and take it easy on the triceps. You'll still get some blood flow into the arms, but you won't have to worry about that push position. So either one, depending on how you're feeling today. And then we're going to finish off with 10 dumbbell front squats. So working on that front squat or even goblet squat. I'm good with either one. And then you rest, and then you wait till the next 4 minutes, tackle it again. So this workout will take a total of 20 minutes, or just shy of 20 minutes, in terms of with a little bit of rest built in. Let's get you warmed up, let's get you ready, and we'll have some fun on a Saturday today. Alright, you guys, let's get those feet under those hips. We'll take the arms big and tall. We're going to clasp the fingers, press them way up today. Reach it to one side, and then come back through and reach to the other side. We'll come back up. We're going to press straight ahead, rounding out that upper back. It should feel really good after all those burpees, or push-ups yesterday. Then we're going to open up into a nice T position. Turn the hands in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Big stretch, little shrug. We'll come down all the way to the floor, touching those toes. We're going to walk up those shins. We'll flow down to a lizard lunge. Stepping back into that nice square position. We'll take the inside hand all the way up. And then we'll bring it back down. Take the outside hand all the way up. Bring it down. Inside hand up. Come down. Outside hand all the way up. One more time. Inside hand up, big reach. And outside hand, big reach. Good. Plant the hand. We're going to step back into our down dog briefly just to set those shoulders. And come back into our plank. And step that other foot up. Again, setting those legs nice and strong. Inside hand's going to scoop way up. We'll come back down. Outside hand's going to open to that nice little twist. Come back down. Inside hand up. Come back down. Outside hand up. Back down. Inside hand up. And down. And outside hand. Good. Plant the hand. We'll step back into our down dog, reaching those hips. Coming back into our plank, pulling those shoulders up to the sky, ribs and hips in. Tiptoe those feet up. We're going to roll ourselves all the way up. Big stretch. Clasp those fingers, press way up overhead, reach. And reach. Oh, and let's bring those hands back down and get you guys fired up. Let's get you ready for this lovely adventure we have for a Saturday. All right. So we are going to take you through this first piece, which is going to start off with some upper body love, followed up by some lower body stuff. We're going to start off with a plank to down dog. So it's going to give us a nice chance to open up those shoulders a little bit, wake up the lats, the pecs, all that good stuff. So first things first, let's establish our good plank. Hands are going to be under the shoulders, pressing through the floor, gripping the ground with those hands. We're going to pull the ribs and hips in so we're in that good plank position. And then I'm going to pull my hips back, softening my knees and ankles, and just letting those lats and arms wrap around the body. Keeping my pinky and my thumb equally kind of pressing into the floor, and then going to pull back in to that plank. Trying to find that hip and rib position plus the shoulder as I transition back into the plank. As I come back into the down dog, my armpits wrap around the body, and then as I come through, I try and maintain that position through the shoulders as I pull my ribs and hips in, finding that good strong plank. If you're still working on trying to feel that flow from the down dog into the plank as we pull the ribs and hips, press the shoulders up, come back into the plank, reassess, reset, and then continue on. But keep working on trying to find that flow into that nice active, strong plank. We have 3 to 5 reps to practice, and then we're going to come down to our tabletop. Our tabletop is going to get sent down so our knees are going to be apart a little bit, toes curled under. We're going to pull the ribs and hips in, press the shoulders up, and we're going to get ourselves lifted into that nice quad plank. So our knees come off the floor a bit, my back stays flat and level like a little table, and I'm going to hold for 10 seconds, then I'll come down and I'll reset those positions. If you'd like to add in a cat-cow curl in between those quad planks, please be my guest. Add that in there if you'd like. It's just a nice way to open up the chest and shoulders, find that nice round back position into my good plank, or into my good table again. And then I'll reset and take her down. After 3 of those, I'm going to move into my floor pike hold, which is a nice opportunity just to kind of bring that nice handstand practice in. So I'm going to bring my knees and toes together, setting up the same way. I'll pull the ribs and hips in, press the shoulders up. I'm going to lift those hips high and up to the sky, pressing my shoulders to my ears as I look to my toes. So I'm maintaining that nice tight body position, that good hollow, as I pull everything in just like I'd be in a handstand. So once you embody and embrace that idea of the handstand in your mind, as you're holding that position, you're in this beautiful handstand in the middle of the floor, nice and supported through the shoulders, through the ribs, and through that nice hollow. After we've done a 10 to 30 second hold there, we're going to come back to our quad plank position and our quad plank toe touch. So this is a little different. We're going to get our knees apart, toes curled under. I get myself set and organized through my core and my shoulders. I lift my knees, and now I'm going to pull my hips back a bit, touch my toe, come back to the quad. Touch my toe on the opposite side, back to my quad plank. Touch my toe, back to my quad plank. Now you're going to work on keeping the press down into those shoulders, and as I rock back, don't be surprised if you feel your quads start to say hello and start to kind of go, whoa, these are getting tired. All right, this is really going to affect the core, the shoulders, and the quads because they're under a lot of tension in that nice 90-degree position. So don't be surprised if you feel that in your quads. And don't be surprised if you might have to break those reps up a little bit. You have 10 back and forth total count reps. If you need to break them up into 5 and 5 or 6 and 4, please be my guest. Keep that position strong. After that quad plank toe touch, we're going to stand tall and we're going to work on our ankle pump. So this is a great opportunity just to wake up our ankles and our legs a little bit after that little experience in the quad plank. So we have a few different options for you. If you're not a jumper and you're like, I really need to work on my ankle strength and my foot strength, set your feet up underneath of your hips, weight through the whole foot, and then try and stay balanced between your big toe and pinky toe. And you're going to work on a nice calf raise as you push into that nice balanced position and working on controlling the lower and working on controlling your balance. Squeezing your glutes and keeping your ribs tight as we do this so we can maintain the position we would be in if we were skipping or jumping. Now, if you're a jumper, we can use this as an opportunity to work on our rebound and our nice relaxed ankles and that nice rebound off the floor. So I'm gonna get my hands like I'm holding a skipping rope, and I'm just gonna get that nice good hop. So I'm not trying to control my feet or my jump through my feet. I am trying to control the intensity through my core and my glutes. So I'm keeping that quite engaged. And my shoulders and arms are gonna be relaxed. They're being held in this spot, but they're pretty relaxed. I'm not holding tension in them, okay? They have a little bit of give. So that allows me to work on my rebound, that absorption, and that giving back of the energy through my feet, and let them naturally do what they do. Now, if you'd like to work on some double under skill work, nothing wrong with that at all. You can work on that power jump. So you're working on your ankle pop, and then as soon as you feel ready, maybe every 3, every 5, you're going to pop. And in that pop, you're going to kind of make a little fist or make a little flick of the wrist to simulate when you're about to do that double under. So as soon as you pop and leave the ground, bam, those wrists have to go together with the feet. So it's a nice timing drill. It's a nice opportunity to work on maintaining the shape we need when we do our skip and work on our jumping. All right? So take that down. You have 10 seconds, rest 10, 10 seconds, rest 10. So you have 2 chances to play with that. So you can mix and match what you want to do. Maybe you do calf raises for the first one and then ankle pops for the second. Who knows? All right? It's up to you guys. After that, we're going to bring it all together, and we're going to bring our feet into our narrow squat stance. And that can be anything inside your natural regular squat stance. So experiment with it, and you may find that today they're a little tighter, you have to go a little wider, and that's okay. Just kind of listen to the body and take it to the stance that you need, anything inside that regular squat stance. So my legs are quite fatigued today, so I'm going to keep at least a little fist distance between my feet, just a little bit of space, and I'm going to work on pulling my hips to my heels, keeping my chest up so I can wake up those ankles, wake up those shins, and then I'm going to stand up nice and tall by pushing through the floor. So I'm tall, normal squat mechanics, my hips to my heels, my knees are going to go forward a little bit, but they are tracking the toes. They're not collapsing in on themselves, especially if I have a little bit of space between my feet. I have 3 to 5 reps there for you guys. There's no specific tempo, but I do suggest going a little slower on the down so that you can really control your positions there. Quick recap of that first phase. We have a plank to down dog for 3 to 5, quad plank for 3 at 10-second holds, floor pike hold for 10 to 30 seconds, anywhere in that range, quad plank toe touch for 10 alternating reps back and forth, ankle pops for 10, rest 10 seconds times 2, and then we have a narrow stance squat for 3 to 5 reps, all for 2 to 3 times through. So it's going to get that full body going. It's going to primarily focus on the upper body and the core, but it's going to give you that little bit of leg skill at the bottom to start waking those things up. Pause the video, take that down, come join me again afterwards for this next phase, which is going to focus a lot more on the lower half of your body and give you a great chance to work on some jumping skills. So what we're going to start off with first is that lateral ski jump. Maybe with that RDL jump or that vertical hop at the end, maybe not. But the lateral ski jump, again, just as a quick recap, we load a leg, we use those arms and body to get that nice jump side to side, and we control that lateral energy, pausing for a moment and then shifting back to the other side. If you're not a jumper, you can do the same thing, except we step. And that foot doesn't actually leave the ground until that foot is firmly planted on the ground and you're balanced. The other thing you can do if you're someone who doesn't jump a lot, but you're like, I'm on the border, I'm on the cusp, that lateral ski jump doesn't have to be big. It can be basically a squat distance away and work on building that comfort with leaving the ground, and that's fine. Now, if you'd like to add in that little vertical hop, what you're going to do, stepping or jumping, you're going to swing it over and then change directions. Swing, change directions. Swing, change directions. And if you're not quite ready to do the jump, you can swing, high knee. Swing, high knee. And you can start getting yourself in the pattern of moving into that vertical hop with control and a nice skill set with that high knee. So a couple options there. You got 20 seconds to do with what you can. you don't have to rush those, but it's a really nice chance to work on that lateral energy and that good jump. After that, we're gonna move into our goblet squat. And the goblet squat, again, is our regular squat stance. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see profile. I'm gonna pull the dumbbell up under my chin, holding that nice position. And then from here, I'm going to squat. Taking my hips to my heels, my knees track the toes, and my body's gonna stay upright. So I'm allowing myself to squat well and squat with good mechanics. Again, there's no tempo here. Oh, there is a tempo, sorry, at a 303. So it's gonna be relatively slow on that way down, so you can really start to feel your balance positions and feel that squat. So you have 3 to 5 at a 303 tempo. Right after that goblet squat though, you have 20 seconds of jump squats. So we're gonna have to really heat those legs up. So the jump squat, we ditch the dumbbell and we can do one of these 3 options. We can do an air squat with perhaps even a faster stand up. We can do a non-jumping jump squat, which we aggressively come up and down, but I don't leave the ground. My heels may come off, but I don't actually leave the ground. Or I can work the jump squat, where I take it down, good air squat, drive up, and then land and absorb with that absorption. You can play with any one of those 3 variations, and in that 20 seconds, or over the course of those rounds that we are doing in our warm-up. Keeping in mind that the foundation of all those jump squat options is the air squat. So we want to make sure that our air squat is on point before we start worrying about trying to get too dynamic and too aggressive with it. So work that good air squat and then start building from there. After the jump squat, we're going to go wide into our stance. We're going to slow things down a bit with 10 side lunges. So even with the side lunge though, I want you to think squat mechanics. You're going to take your hip down to your heel and you're going to stay nice and upright. Trying to keep that chest tall and that body nice and upright like we would in a squat. So we pull the hip to the heel. Doesn't matter if it doesn't get all the way down, but we want to think of that as a loose target. So the hip goes towards, keeps the chest up, keeps the knee tracking the toe as we move through that rep scheme of 10 reps. If you'd like to add in a tempo, a pause, be my guest. You got 10 reps to do with what you will to get those legs and hips warmed up. From there, we have our plank to bear squats. We're going to come back into that squat a little differently, but we're going to focus on our upper body. So I'm going to get myself in my squat, in my plank. My shoulders press to the sky, my ribs and hips press in, and I'm going to separate my feet to my hips or my squat stance. I'm going to pull my hips back and down into that ankle position, and I'm going to press back there. My pinky and my thumb are pressing down equally into the ground so that I'm not rolling out onto my pinky. It's very rare we're going to roll onto our thumb. Most of the time we roll into that pinky and that thumb comes off the ground. So we want to think about keeping that thumb down just like our big toe when we try and keep that down when we do anything that involves hinging or squatting. We want to make sure that we're not rolling out onto that toe and we keep that foot and base nice and level for support. So take it as deep as you feel comfortable, actively focusing on that armpit, that shoulder position, and that can really help open up those shoulders and get you ready for what's to come. Quick little recap for you guys on that. We have a lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, perhaps adding in that vertical hop. Goblet squat for 3 to 5 at a 303 tempo. Jump squat, one of those 3 variations for 20 seconds. Remembering that that jump squat is not about max reps, but just about getting some dynamic action in those hips and warming up those legs a little bit more. Into our side lunge, 10 alternating reps. If you'd like to add in a tempo, please be my guest. And then we're going to finish it off with our plank to bear squat. Take that down, pause the video, work through it 3 to 5 rounds. If you'd like to add in some of the workout movements that you're going to play with, please do so. But we're going to talk about those right now for you guys so you're good to go and ready. So follow me along. We're going to talk about the work set. The work set today, again, is every 4 minutes. So you're going to have a 4-minute window to get this work done. Whatever time remaining in that 4 minutes, you get to rest. So when you're done your work set, you are resting for the remaining time. At the top of the next 4 minutes, you're doing it again. So you get 5 rounds of work. It's 20 minutes in total. It's going to be a good time. We kickstart off with a box jump though, so we have a few different options for box jumps. So in terms of our day today, I have a box here, so we can talk about the box jump. The box jump, as per usual, we throw those hips back, we stay a little bit more upright, but I want you guys to think about those knees staying out and my weight staying through the midfoot, so that when I go to drive, and I drive through those feet, I'm getting as much as I can in that jump as I transition into the toe to finish off with that ankle. So I pull those hips back, I get that good jump, stand tall at the top of the box, and I step down. Hips go back, knees out, I land with that good control, stand all the way up, and take it down. Now if I'm not comfortable with jumping, or the apparatus I have at home is not good for jumping, but I can step on it, you can work on a step up. And you can work on a nice smooth step for 10 reps, or you can add this piece in. You can do a step to high knee, step to high knee, step to high knee, and you can take that down too. So that's going to build a little bit more engagement, a little bit more balance for you to take that down. Another option with the step over, you can work a lateral step over. So we keep that foot up on the box, we drive, we come down. We're going to work that for 10. Nice smooth jumps, nice smooth step overs. Working on keeping that knee stacked over top of the foot, so we keep that knee in good alignment. Now, if you don't have an apparatus that you're safe or comfortable jumping or stepping on, there's a few other options you can play with. One of which being the jump squat, the lateral ski jump that we worked on in our warm-up, and then a couple other ones that we didn't. You can work on, if you have the space, a broad jump. So we work on that good hip back, and instead of going vertical, we're gonna go forward. So you're gonna throw those hips, jump, land in that good power position, turn around, do it again. Good. You're gonna take that down, trying to land as soft and as smooth as you can. Remembering you don't have to worry about trying to jump super far, especially if you're a brand new jumper into this kind of world. You can just work on hip, land, hip, and just jumping little jumps, working on that good hip extension and that good leg drive. The other one is our tuck jump, which we are just jumping vertical up. So we get that good hinge, that quick hip, and they're gonna jump vertical. So we jump, knees, land. Okay? Hip, knees, and land. And we're trying to land just like we would on a broad jump or a box jump, soft in that power position. All right, so we're jumping as high as we feel comfortable, and only if we feel comfortable doing the tuck jump. All right? So I'll have all those different options on the bottom of the workout description. You can take a peek at them, have some fun with it, and enjoy. Jumping is a good time, but can also be a little daunting in the mind. So pick your option to have some fun with and get some dynamic kind of hip action and leg action. Our next exercise is the burpee, and we have 10 to 15 reps of this. So we did a lot of push-ups yesterday. So if you're feeling this in the arms and you're like, oh my God, I need to move again, but oh, burpees, more push, do the squat thrust. It's not taking the easy way out, I tell you that much, all right? But it will give your arms a little chance to be used, get some blood flow in there, but not add to that stiffness of all those push-ups from yesterday. So make that choice, have some fun with it, and if you want, there's a range on those burpees or squat thrusts from 10 to 15. So if you normally do burpees, and you're like, well, I was looking at doing 10 burpees when my arms are really sore, do 15 squat thrusts, all right? Have some fun with it, play with the numbers, and see where it takes you. But let's talk about that movement. The burpee. We stand nice and tall. We bring those hands down to the floor. We're gonna jump or step our feet back, bringing our body down. My elbow stays over my hand, and then I'm gonna press and pop back up. I can also step back, so my hands come down, step up, and or any combination of those two movements. So I can jump back, lower, step up, step down, jump in, it's up to you. Key points of performance though is keeping that elbow stacked over my wrist and keeping that core nice and tight so we're not snaking. So a really cool rule of thumb, try and let the chest and the thighs touch at the same time. And then as you press, if you want to press to your knees, that's fine. But try and let the chest touch with the thigh at the same time so we're not snaking down and we're working on that strength to lower down to that push. Now the squat thrust, same concept. We can bring our hands down, I jump back, jump in, or I can step back and step in, or any combination of those two things. Jump back, step back, jump, whatever it happens to be. Our key focus here though is hitting that good plank. So as I come down and I jump back, my shoulder always stays over my hands. So we want to make sure that that is the case. And then when I land, I'm in that good hollow, good plank. And then when I jump, my shoulders stay over my hands and my feet come in to that nice solid stance so I can stand tall and move from there. So have some fun with it. Remember, if you're feeling it, rock the squat thrust today. Gets the cardio up, you move a little faster with those. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that where we don't get the push, we move faster. So that heart rate's gonna get jacked up a little more than normal. Now, our last movement in the work set is a front squat or a goblet squat. We covered the goblet squat in our warm-up, but our dumbbell front squat, if you have 2 sets or 2 dumbbells, you can do double dumbbell. If you don't, rock 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Or you can do all 10 on this side, then the next round, do 10 on this side, and just alternate each round. Our squat stance is going to be regular, and I'm going to press into this arm and this dumbbell just a little bit to keep everything engaged and keep my body tall. My hips are going to go towards my heels. I'm going to keep my eyes up so I can stay upright, and then I'm going to stand tall. So I'm trying to keep this dumbbell as still as possible so that it's not moving around a lot, causing me to get soft in my squat or get soft in the change of directions when I'm going from down back to standing. So we have 10 reps there. Mix and match 5 and 5 or all 10. It's up to you and how you want to take that down. I'm good with either, all right? So it depends. Set that way in the beginning so you know what you're doing and you don't have to kind of guess midway through, all right? Quick recap for you guys again. Every 4 minutes, you're going to take down 10 box jump or box jump equivalent, 10 to 15 burpee or squat thrust, 10 dumbbell front squats for 5 rounds. Right? Remember, whatever time you have left over in that 4 minutes, rest it out, breathe, try and keep those intervals finishing around the same time every time, and see if you can maintain that consistency. Happy weekend, everyone. I hope you have a great Saturday and a good weekend. We're going to come at you tomorrow with a good breath and flow, and then back at you on Monday with some good start of the week programming. But for now, work for quality, have fun today, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye, everyone.